Hello everyone, I am Dr. Jivnesh, a postdoc scholar in Kyoto University. This is a joint work in collaboration with co-authors from Kyoto University and IIT Kanpur. The title of the talk is Context-Aware Personality Evaluation Framework for Large Language Models. LLMs have made significant advances in generating human-like text. For example, this is a snippet generated by ChatGPT. A very warm welcome to EMNLP 2025 here in the time-place city of Suzhou, where traditions meet innovation and so on. Moving beyond linguistic fluency, this raises a fundamental question: how human-like are LLMs? And researchers are utilizing psychometrics to assess whether LLMs exhibit human-like personality. This question is crucial in context where LLMs may act as human proxies in surveys or personalized human-AI interaction. The Big Five framework, known as OCEAN, captures 5 key traits of human personality, namely openness, conscientiousness, extraversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. To assess an LLM's personality, we adopt this framework as a zero-shot multiple-choice task. The model is given self-descriptive statements like "you have difficulty imagining things" and ask how accurately they describe itself, choosing from 5 graded options. Each response is then numerically scored to quantify the model's personality along OCEAN dimension. In human personality test, you might recall answering one question after another, and early responses subtly shape how you answer the next one. Psychology calls this a contextual influence, the natural carryover of self-perception across items. In contrast, LLMs are evaluated in context-free manner. Each question is answered in isolation, without memory of previous ones. This key difference makes current LLM assessment fundamentally unlike how human personality is measured. When LLMs are deployed in the real world, context is unavoidable. Evaluating persona in context-free manner and deploying in context-aware environment is serious test deployment mismatch. Let me draw an example to illustrate why is it important to evaluate LLM's persona in context-aware setting. When user asks, "I want to book a flight for Paris next Friday for conference," then multiple levels of context is important. For example, book means reserve, not read. Then why user is booking the flight? What is user's expectation? In what language one should answer? And what are the visa and different time zones requirements? So all these different layers of context LLM should consider before answering. There are two groups of researchers who are debating. One group proposes various methodologies to assess LLM's persona, like story writing task, multiple choice question, open-ended interview style assessment. And on the other hand, there is another group of researchers who discards these approaches due to the prompt sensitivity triggered from various inconsistency factors. We contribute to this field by pointing out that context is very important factor and should be considered while evaluating LLM's persona. So we call this Disney world evaluation versus real world contextual setting. Our key contributions are summarized as follows. We propose the first context-aware persona assessment framework, which demonstrates its role in enhancing response consistency. To quantify the effect of context, we propose two novel metrics, and we perform in-depth analysis on how context influences LLM's personality, and our dataset and code are publicly available. The outline of the talk is as follows. First, I will introduce our proposed framework, followed by consistency test bed for evaluating robustness of our framework, followed by metrics to evaluate this consistency, then results, and in-depth analysis. This is an illustration of the difference between existing context-free, shown in left, and proposed context-aware evaluation framework, shown in the right. In the left setting, each question is asked independently with no prior history, and in the right setting, all questions are part of the same session, where prior answers can influence future responses. This new setting helps to fix test deployment mismatch, to make evaluation more human-likely, and it also facilitates to study the effect of context. To evaluate the effectiveness of our proposed framework, we use 5 different inconsistency factors shown in the different colors in the prompt template, namely temperature, we vary the temperature, then option order using the semantically similar options, then changing the option order using the different instructions as used by different papers, and then paraphrasing the items. So for each variant, we generate 3 scoring trajectories using the same question order across independent LLM runs. To quantify the consistency of 3 independent scoring trajectories, we use 2 existing metrics, but these metrics overlook partial agreement and contextual dependencies, which is very crucial in our case. In response, we propose 2 novel metrics, namely trajectory consistency and ocean consistency, which overcomes shortcomings of earlier metrics. For each trajectory, we learn Gaussian regression function shown with different color tubes, and our metric essentially captures the intersection of these tubes as a proxy for consistency. Coming to the main results, we evaluate across 7 different LLMs, across 5 different inconsistency factors and 4 different metrics. Clearly, our proposed setting shows the improved consistency. Just to highlight the gains, we show here for the 3 different models, where improvements by our setting, shown with the light color, is significant. Here we perform in-depth analysis to answer questions like what does make trajectory consistent, and our results suggest prior prayers act as implicit future demonstration, enabling in-context learning. Next, we analyze does the LLM's response stem from its personality or prior conversation. We find that for GPT models, it stems from both personality and conversation, but for Gemini and Llama, it stems only from the prior conversation, which is not very human-likely. Next, we investigate how does question ordering affect. We test 3 strategies: random ordering, trait-wise grouping, and cyclic rotation. We find GPT models remain robust to question ordering, similar to humans, but Gemini and Llama show significant sensitivity. Next, we investigate how does context affect LLM responses. And we find that GPT 3.5 and GPT 4 shows shift in persona compared to the context presetting. However, Gemini and Llama did not show any shift. Finally, we investigate how well does the context-dependent setting align with human judgment. For this, we use datasets of 32 characters, where we also get their human annotated persona. So we make role-playing agents of these characters and make them test under context-free and context-dependent setting, and results show that our setting shows the improved human alignment, and also it shows significantly improved consistency. In conclusion, we propose the first context-aware personality evaluation framework, which shows improved response consistency due to the in-context learning, and also triggers personality shift. And our framework is more aligned as per human annotations. And finally, we would like to recommend to ACL community that do not ignore context, which is very crucial while evaluating the LLM's persona. And for the future work, we would like to investigate how stable is the persona in adversarial conversational setting. Thank you very much. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to reach out to us.